Hey, what's up all you reefers? Welcome back to an update of my Red Sea Reefer 425. Since we last spoke, I was on day 8 of the cycle, and now I'm about 3 weeks in post-cycle using the Dr. Tim's method. With the Dr. Tim's, it took about 3 weeks for a complete cycle, and been about 3 weeks since it cycled. Clowns have been in here approximately 2 weeks. They're loving life. They're just swimming around. It's so much better than that stupid quarantine tank, huh guys? So got my little Picasso there and the Phantom. That's what they were. They're little buddies. They sleep together, pretty much do everything together. They don't fight. I'm not sure if that means they're bonded, but they don't fight, and that's pretty much all I wanted. He's supposed to be a Phantom. I don't know. Maybe he's a black ice. I'm not sure. This one's a Picasso. I can definitely tell that. And I just really like the colors on this guy. I love the black on the top and the yellow on the bottom. And just really cool fish. Love the clowns. Also added a small cleanup crew since we talked last. I added, let's see, I started off with a fire shrimp, a red brittle starfish, and 5 red-legged hermit crabs. And they've done a really good job so far. There's the shrimp back there. I don't know if you can see them with the light. It's kind of bad on the phone. Also added about 20 Nazareth snails and 20 dwarf seraph snails. Got all that from reefcleaners.org. And they're doing a really good job. I kind of feed pretty liberally. I mainly just feed frozen food, mysis, and marine algae krill mix from Hikari. Everything's to eat, it seems really good, and my nitrate still reads 0 on the API test kit. So I guess that's pretty good. And I did start to get a small diatom bloom along the rocks right here, along the main peak stretch, and then right here in the middle. But that kind of went away within about a week, and that was before I even had any of the snails in. It was just the fire shrimp here, 5 red-legged hermits, and a red brittle starfish. And I came home one day from work, and it was pretty much just gone. I'm starting to see, you can kind of see some down here on the sand still, but not a lot. I thought it was going to get a lot worse. I remember my last tank, it got pretty thick before it went away. But I don't know, man. Everything's looking good. I'm really happy with it. And also, since we talked last, I did raise the light some. It's about 12 inches off the water line right now. Just felt it gave a much better distribution of light over the whole tank, and just kind of looks a lot better, I think. Also added a screen top, which is the Red Sea Reefer lid. It's really nice. It sits flush. You really can't even tell it's there, and it keeps all the fish out. It was quite tedious putting it on. Took me roughly 4 hours of measure, cut, file a little bit, measure, and mainly the measuring around the overflow box and the Kessel arms was the tedious part. And then putting the screen on was really no easy chore. I've never splined screening before, but that wasn't the funnest thing I've ever done in my life, so I hope I'll never have to do that again. But it wasn't bad. It's nice and solid now, and it looks nice, so really can't complain. So let's go ahead and take a look at the sump. Well, firefish, he's looking for some food. Because I did make a couple changes since we saw each other last, and that's, 1 second. Notice I had to put some child locks on here because my little 2-year-old loves to come in here and play with daddy's stuff. So, as you'll notice right off the bat, I did get rid of the stock ATO in here. It works. It was good for 4 days, and I got to hand it to Red Sea for including an ATO in the system itself. Most other companies don't do that. So, it worked. It lasted for 4 days, but it was just like right in the middle of everything, and it was hard to do some maintenance. It was hard to get in that return chamber if I needed to. And so I just got rid of it, and it only lasted for 4 days. I wanted something bigger, so eventually I was going to have to go to the Toonsy, and so I just did it. And so that's what I did. I got the Toonsy 3155 osmolator, and it works great. I have no issues with it at all. I'm going to use a flashlight here for you guys. So I set it up right here, and it sprays right into the pad there, so to eliminate any splashing in the return chamber, which will hopefully eliminate any microbubbles. I hate microbubbles. I put it on this panel right here because you can't put it on this wall because the wall's right there. You can't put it on this wall because you can't put the magnet behind either one. And you couldn't put it on that wall because it got the filter pad and everything right there. So you're pretty much left with only one option on this tank, and that's to put it right behind these 2 cups on the other side. You can't see it, but that's where it is. A little magnet back in there, and it works good right there. I have no complaints. So I just ran it through here. Goes up through the hole into the cabinet there. and use the same little Velcro ties I use with the hard Velcro on the cabinet, because these little ties is the soft part of the Velcro. I don't know what the term is. And so I just wrap all the wires, and it's really easy to adjust if I need to pull one wire or another wire, or if I need to undo it and, you know, do something. It's really easy. So it's not zip tied, I don't have to cut anything, nothing's permanent. And I can just make little alterations if needed. Then it goes in, this is my ATO reservoir. It is, as you can tell, a recycled trash can that I picked up from Lowe's. It was about $8, so it holds roughly 12 gallons of water. And so I was looking at, you know, similar ones made out of acrylic online and stuff, and they're, you know, they're about $200 for something that size and that shape. And, you know, if I can get something at Lowe's that, you know, for $8 it does the exact same thing, well, then I'm going to do that, because pretty much it's in the sump and nobody's ever going to see it. Also, just added like a little kitchen rack thing in here with just, it's like 3M sticky tape, and then got a little hook for my net. And so I just keep some stuff in there, a little cup with a toothbrush, my HANA monitor, or my HANA temperature monitor, and a tape measure. And that's pretty much it. The skimmer itself now is starting to make a nice, good, thick, heavy foam. Starting to puff up real nice now that I actually have a bio load in here and doing some feeding. You really can't see it right now due to the condensation in the cup. But it's a nice, good, thick, producing way less micro bubbles than it was last time. There's still a couple floating around in there, but nothing like it was. And I also went ahead and started running some carbon. I'm just running it in these little filter cups right here. I used a filter bag. I'm using the BRS Rocks carbon. According to their calculator, I was supposed to use like 0.68 of a cup for the whole system. I went ahead and just put a half a cup in each one because I'm not using a reactor, so it's definitely not as efficient as a reactor. But it's still, you know, I've seen their tests and it still works in the carbon or in the filter bag. So I put a half a cup in each one and threw them in there, and because it was starting to get that kind of a marine smell, you know, the kind of fish poop, kind of saltwatery smell, kind of humid, and you know, it wasn't terrible, but it was definitely noticeable when you're in the sump. And after about, you know, 12 hours, it completely took that smell away. So everything smells really nice and clean in here now, and that's it, man. So I think that's only the updates I've got to show you guys in here. So just got the new ATO 12-gallon trash can, $8. Saved myself about $190, and it works just great. I'll probably end up doing it. I did the same cutting board lid again that I had, just kind of keep the whatchamacallit, the evaporation down. And I am going to start running some Kalkwasser here soon. I'm ordering, it's in the mail right now, the BRS Kalkwasser starter package. And I'm just going to go that route since I'm just going to be mainly doing LPS and softies, and we'll see how that goes. You know, it's simple, it's easy, and that's what I'm all about. I'm the lazy reefer for a reason. I love reefing, but I don't want to have to do maintenance all the freaking time. And, you know, having reactors and dosing pumps and all that, well, they still work awesome, and they're really not that much work. It's, you know, things that can go wrong and do need to be maintained. Other than this, where I can just, you know, wash the trash can out once in a while when the calc starts to build up too much on the bottom, and then just add water to it and then add calc. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the tank. It's running really good. I've gotten no complaints. Just everything is running really smoothly. It's almost too good. It's almost, you know, almost too good. Anyways, well, I don't know if you guys can see this very well. The camera, the light looks kind of weird. But that's where we're at so far. So let's go take a look at the quarantine. I got a couple more fish out there. They've been there about 10 days now. Hi, buddy. Okay, so here we are in the quarantine tank, and there you'll see I got a little powder blue, and there's a Tomini tang in there too. Oh, there he is. He saw you guys. He wants to come out and hang out. So I got these two guys. They've been here for about 10 days. No cupramine treatment yet. They will be treated with cupramine, just to be on the safe side. I'm not going to take the chance of any diseases. Even though these guys seem really healthy, they don't really appear to be doing anything. The powder blue has flashed a few times. I've seen him. Can't really see any spots or anything on him, and he's eating great. They eat a ton of mysis, and then they eat a ton of nori all the time. So I really have no complaints with them, but I'm going to treat them. I like to get them eaten first. So they've been here about 10 days, and I like to get them eaten, a little more used to their new environment before I start dumping the copper in. And that's pretty much it. I know, the powder blue, some people are probably going to say it's going to be way too big for this tank, and you're probably right. But I think he's an awesome fish, and my wife really wanted him. It was either him or blue tang, so I went with the powder blue. And she's happy, and happy wife, happy reefer. And that's pretty much it, man. These guys are awesome. I'm going to start the coop main treatment here probably in a couple of days. I'm actually waiting on a Hannah checker as well to check the copper because of this Salifert test kit. I don't know, man. It's hard to read. I can't really tell if it's 0.25, 0.50. It's just super hard to read. And also, what I do is I just rubber band a little bit of nori down there for them. I put a couple drops of the silicone on there first before I put it in there. Just kind of help with their vitamins, kind of keep them up a little bit. And what I do for their feeding is I just put 2 cubes of mysis in that little syringe. Just melt it in there with some water. And then, this way my wife can feed when I'm gone. And just put a couple squirts in. And then, here they come. Oh yeah, give us that mysis. And they eat really good. So, they don't look sick. I don't see any spots on either one of them. No, their poop doesn't look weird. They're not showing any weird colors. They're really happy. They eat good and they swim around, and there's really no signs of aggression between the two of them. I think because I'm their common enemy. So they're kind of terrified of me for the first week. They just hide every time I come out here unless I was feeding. But they're starting to get a little more used to me. I think they realize that I'm going to give them some food and I'm not going to spear them. But yeah, they're both really small. They're juveniles, so I figured if I introduced them at the same time that they'd get along a lot better, and it seems to be working. Or if I'm just, they're just doing it for right now and they're going to kill each other eventually. But I don't know. I like them. I'm happy. And they seem pretty happy too. I do want to make an ATO for this thing, and what I'm planning on using is I'm going to use the ATO that came with the Red Sea Reefer, I think. Because with the Toonsy, it gives you this extra magnet that you can hook the float one to. So I'm going to try and do some fabrication here in a little bit. I'm going to try to cut that so that I can screw that onto here, and then I can magnetize this onto the side of the tank. And then I'm either going to build a little stand. So this is just a gravity feed. I'm either going to build it a little higher than that tank right there, or I'm just going to set it right on top of the tank. I'm just a little nervous that this table here won't be able to hold the weight. It should be able to. I think it's rated like 300 pounds, and that tank right there should only weigh about 165 right now. So I'm going to do something like that, just because adding a cup a day isn't really that big of a deal. But summer's coming up, spring break's coming up, and it'd just be nice if the whole thing was kind of automated, and especially if I don't have to spend any more money on gadgets and stuff, I could just make them myself. And so that's it. That's pretty much the update right now. Really nothing much to tell you guys. These guys are just chilling. Tank's doing really good. So if you guys have any more questions, or if I didn't cover something you want to know, just hit me up in the comments. And hope you guys all have a good day. See ya.